Imagine being at a Hollywood studio, making your dream project for one of the biggest film festivals in the world, surrounded by your friends in the film industry, just to find out it's one of the biggest box office flops of all time, losing millions of dollars of your own money. How did this happen? And more importantly, how can you avoid this moving forward on your dream project? We're going to take a look at 7 easy ways to make movies that win, and the last one is guaranteed to make a movie that wins before you even get started. Hi, my name is Jamie. I am the lead educator here and filmmaker at Rising Cinema, your film club in Japan. And if you're an OG, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to take a look at a filmmaker named Francis Ford Coppola. If you don't know him, you definitely know his movies. He directed and created the Godfather trilogy and has decades worth of experience. And we're going to share a bunch of different highlights from his career that he's shared with us through the film Megadoc, which only came out a few months ago, about the massive flop of Megalopolis. And the good news is, this is all stuff that we've used on our film series here in Japan. We've gotten into over 100 film festivals in 27 nations around the world, so we know it can work for you. By the way, we'll put the screenplay for The Godfather and Megalopolis in the description below so you can check that out later. Fun leads to innovation. The filmmaker talks about how if you're not having fun, you're not coming up with new ideas. And the argument that he makes is all of human civilization is filled with invention and innovation that came through play, that came through recreation. So that can look like a couple different things. Maybe as a screenwriter, you are giving yourself time with a blank page with blank outline cards to come up with new ideas for your story. Or if you're on set as a filmmaker, are you giving yourself time with your actors? Are you giving yourself time to rehearse and play with the scene and come up with new ideas versus having everything that's stuck in your head be caught on camera? The flexibility to play can be a huge liberation for you, the actors, and your crew to innovate for your film. We found a really cool TED Talk that actually goes more deeply into this topic about the idea of innovation and invention coming through play and recreation throughout human society. Things like the computer and instrumentation, all through the idea of play, recreation, and exploration. So we'll put that in the description below so you can check it out later. It's okay to be scared. If you're going into your project with uncertainty or fear, join the club. Francis Ford Coppola says every single project he's been on has had some area of uncertainty or dread because he's doing something he's never done before. The good news is, if you are making something that you've never done before, you're going to be so sharp and you're going to grow so much as a filmmaker by going through that process. When I was in film school, one of my student films, The Dreamer, was filled with stuff that I've never done before. It had special effects. It had this fantasy romance world, and it was told entirely without dialogue, which was terrifying. I actually tried to get out of it by writing somebody else's script and story idea. But I'm so glad that I went through this process because I learned a ton about visual storytelling, how to outline a story visually, and this film has opened doors for me in film festivals around the world and continuing to make films, and we want the same thing for you. Francis Ford Coppola says, "I don't think there's any artist of any value who doesn't doubt what they're doing." When I was studying theater in New York, I had to turn to one of my mentors and say, "Hey, I don't know what I need to do. What would you suggest? I'm feeling really insecure. I just wish that I could be as secure and confident as the other people in this room." And my mentor turned to me kind of laughing and saying, "Look around the room. Everybody that's in the theater department, everybody that works in entertainment is insecure. So join the club. Everybody's insecure. Everybody has doubts about themselves." So remember, Francis Ford Coppola is saying, if you have doubts, you have value as an artist, and we think you do too. Enjoy the process. There's so much work that goes into making a film that if you're not enjoying it from beginning to end, or at least finding moments to enjoy, you're missing out on the entire journey of the filmmaking process. If you're waiting for the perfect script to relax and enjoy yourself, or for the perfect film to be shot in the can, or the perfect edit to click, you're missing out on an opportunity because it's all work from beginning to end. And even if your film is done, as soon as you put it in front of an audience, you might feel anxious about how it's going to go or what they're going to think. If you're not enjoying it from beginning to end, you're missing out on the cinematic journey. One thing that I've learned studying Japanese tea ceremony in Japan is to enjoy the process. There's so many steps that go into tea ceremony, before you actually make the matcha and after you make the matcha. That if you thought about every single step and doing every step perfectly before you whisk the matcha, you're going to get overwhelmed. So you have to just go in. You have to take each step, one step at a time, find places to breathe, find places to relax, and even enjoy the sound of the room, enjoy the tea making, enjoy the tea preparation. Otherwise, you're going to get overwhelmed. So when you're making your film, take it one step at a time, find places to relax, find places to enjoy the process for your film or story. But what if things are going wrong? Francis Ford Coppola says, anything you build on a large scale or with intense passion invites chaos. The more you care about your film, your story, your dream project, the more amplified it feels when things aren't going well or when chaos comes. But sometimes chaos is coming. And think about it like a stranger on your film set, somebody that's walked onto your film set. They're not supposed to be there. They weren't invited. What are you going to do about it? Just ignore them. Just focus on what's around you. Focus on your team, your actors, your crew, and making the best film possible. Chaos is going to come and go. It's not necessarily a sign that you should give up on your dream project. Empower your team. Your team, your actors, your crew are part of your filmmaking family. And the more love and respect and dignity that you can show to each person, regardless of where they are on the crew, you're empowering them to empower your film or story. And not everybody can be spoken to the same way. You have to think about each person that's on your team. Do they need more time? Do they need to be spoken to with certain kind of a direction? And you have to speak their language. Shia LaBeouf was getting really frustrated with Francis Ford Coppola for not giving him the kind of direction that he needed. Now, Francis Ford Coppola is a professional and he loves actors. He spent tons of time rehearsing with the actors, but Shia was specifically saying, I need certain things to do a good job. I need certain things to do my performance well. And Francis Ford Coppola said, hey, I'm just trying to direct this film. I'm trying to have a good time. So take time to think about what everybody needs on your filmmaking family, your crew, your actors. Some people might need certain direction to do the best job for your film and story. And if this has been helpful or inspirational so far, go ahead and clap the like button so we can reach other filmmakers, storytellers, and new friends like you. You've probably seen films that are beautiful to look at, super creative, highly emotional, and you have no idea what's going on. And in the same way, you've probably seen very logical films, movies that have great world building, facts, you know exactly what's going on, but you're not connecting with them emotionally. You have to have a balance of both to connect with your audience. Your audience has the logical side of their brain, the creative side of their brain. It's the same with their heart. You've got the left side and the right side of the emotional core, the logical core for the audience. And you have to find the balance between emotion and logic to make the best film possible. So when you're writing or when you're creating your film, don't go too far in one of the other directions. Make sure you've got elements of both if you want to connect with the mind and the heart of your audience. Don't rest on your laurels. Francis Ford Coppola had won multiple Academy Awards at such a young age with decades of experience that on Megalopolis, he's doing this filmmaker flex with people of, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. I know what works. And then the film completely flopped. When I was in film school, I remember thinking, I know what I'm doing. I have a successful film. My film's gone to multiple film festivals, won some awards. It doesn't make you better than someone else. You have to approach each film with a freshness of mind, each film with a Kaizen mentality of constantly improving, constantly reevaluating, constantly looking at yourself and saying, how can I do better this time? How can I make the best film possible and treat my people, team, actors, crew, the best way possible to make the film that you're looking at right now? One of our favorite proverbs is, pride leads to destruction. Humility leads to honor. The film industry would have you think that confidence, arrogance, pride is the key to success, to making a great film, to leading your team with confidence. But it's not always the case. Sometimes you have to have humility, kindness, and gentleness to the people around you to bring out the best in your team. Honor and success and all of those things can come by having a lowly attitude and being honored at just the right time. There's really only two ways to make a film. One way is to make it for others, and it might not work because it might not be successful. It might not get the audience reception that you want, and you've already made a story for someone else instead of yourself. The other way is to make a movie for you. If you make a movie for you, you're guaranteed to win at least one or two ways. People might love it. It might go to festivals. It might win a ton of awards, but you're guaranteed to win because you made a movie that's true to you, a movie you love, and no film festival or award can ever take that away from you. But if you need some inspiration, you're going to want to check out this video to step up your storytelling and take your cinematic game to the next level.